You know the feeling. You string together a few good days, maybe even a few good weeks, and then out of nowhere, a sudden spike of anger or a moment of temptation wipes out all those gains. You're back where you started. The immediate reaction is to vow it won't happen again. You grit your teeth, hold it together for a week, and then inexplicably hit that exact same wall. Breaking this loop requires us to stop treating these as isolated bad days. To fix the cycle, we have to analyze the invisible market structure driving your decision-making. Your internal life operates on supply and demand, the SF-4X pair, spirit over flesh. Your behavior is priced by two forces. The flesh acts as sellers, volatile impulses aggressively pushing stability downward. The spirit acts as buyers, enduring principles absorbing pressure, driving the price upward. When you feel trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, you are actually experiencing a ranging market. Your inner life is swinging between the extremes of your best intentions and your worst impulses, unable to establish a permanent upward trend. During an emotional crash or a moral failure, fleshly impulses take complete control. Your baseline stability starts plummeting as the sellers flood the market. In the middle of that free fall, what actually stops you from hitting absolute rock bottom? Notice how the descending candles drop until they hit the red horizontal lines, stop, and reverse direction. Traders call this a support level. In your spiritual life, these support levels are built over time from proven virtues, daily disciplines, and a supportive community. Virtues like peace and patience function as shock absorbers. When the momentum of a bad decision tries to drag you lower, these baseline habits provide the necessary buy-in to stop the bleeding. Support levels don't prevent you from making mistakes, but they create a firm floor of equilibrium. They give you a stable place to regroup and launch a recovery before damage becomes terminal. After you bounce off your support system, you start building a healthy upward trend. You feel like you're finally gaining ground. Then comes the stall. Just as you're making a real breakthrough, you hit an invisible ceiling and are rejected back into the exact old habits. This chart highlights the phenomenon in the red box, a resistance level. Look at the long shadow pointing upward. It represents the spirit trying to push higher, but the tiny body underneath shows those moves were overwhelmingly rejected by the selling pressure of the flesh. Spiritual resistance is built from ingrained fears, hostile mindsets, and old psychological programming that refuses to let the spirit claim new territory. With a solid support level below and a hard resistance level above, you enter the squeeze. Your price action gets trapped between virtues keeping you alive and strongholds holding you back. This creates intense pressure, a tug of war blocked by old ceilings. Sheer willpower often fails because the fight isn't against a fleeting impulse, it is against a structural ceiling in the mind that requires a massive catalyst to break. Breaking heavy resistance requires the spirit to decisively overwhelm the selling pressure of the flesh. In the architecture of the soul, this catalyst is repentance. Stripped of its cultural baggage, repentance functions as a technical trend reversal. It is the moment you stop fighting for old territory and align with a new direction. Repentance acts as a massive stop-loss. It liquidates toxic positions, snapping the chains and clearing out the psychological junk fueling that downward pressure. When that weight is removed, you get a breakout. Spiritual momentum explodes through that old ceiling. Once broken, that ceiling becomes your new support floor. What used to hold you back now serves as the foundation for your next stage of growth. Navigating your internal market means understanding these three architectural pillars. When you are falling, lean on your support, your community, and your patience. When you are stuck, identify your resistance, the hostile mindsets trapping your progress. And when you are ready to finally shatter the ceiling, execute repentance, clear the junk, and chart a permanent bullish trend for your life.